Howdy, howdy, fellas. Got a World of Warships Legends match today. In the mines again. What? Sorry, it's another mines video. I feel like I just did one. Yeah, it was that cross playoff match. This game. This life. This game, this video game, what is happening? It's been I don't know. Just the last... I guess since the anniversary update, the matchmaking has just been brutal. Yeah, I don't know, I know a lot of people feel this way of just like, oh, how can I always be top scorer and still lose or whatever, like, I mean, it's been bad. Like, I just, like, so much. My mind has led a charmed life until recently. You know, I've probably dropped like almost 10% win rate over the last little bit. It's still 73% here. I'll pop that up. So yeah, I mean it's still 73%. Like yeah, that's good, but I've lost a lot. So you know, I have been messing with my build, like trying to think about it, and I don't know that that's the real that's an issue. You know, I've been trying to fine tune some of my builds as I like to do. Try to be realistic about, you know, what's the build trying to accomplish? Is it doing it? How do I personally realistically play it? Like I think all of that is valid to evaluate when you're setting up your build. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that's like boilerplate effective, like Macau Membelli concealment damage, whatever. Like you can set up this kind of generic build and that'll be like 90% effective for 90% of captains, and it's just like it's fine. But I like to tinker. And so I've been tinkering with my mines. It hasn't been successful. The matchmaking has also been brutal. But in this match, I've just gone back to like the very first build that I set up with it. My kind of like, let's be aggressive and damage focused and just go for it. So I'll throw that up for you. So there you go. I think probably the weirdest thing about this is Einstein. I had taken that off. I think the turret traverse on mines is acceptable. I think it's like 27 seconds or so without Einstein, which is acceptable. But with Einstein on, it drops it down to like 24 seconds. But more importantly, like, I am running it with rudder, which is the way that I've played it the most. I had gone back to concealment, but, you know, like, I want to be shooting. I don't love to hide behind islands. You know, I think people that have played that, I don't mean it pejoratively, like, I feel like it's a totally valid tactic of the, like, island camper playstyle. Probably have better spots of, like, oh, if I go here and I have spotting, like, I can hit these spots of the map. I just don't know that. Like, that's not a style that I've played for pretty much any of the time that I've played the game. I tend to like to be more aggressive. I don't like to sit in the same spot. I've worked on being a little more patient to more or less success. But so I don't have those like, oh, on this map if I go to this spot. I've got a few, like, you know, mostly from watching other people do it. I'm like, oh my god, I can't get to that guy there. So like, I'm not horrible at it, but it's certainly similar to smoke farming. It's not something that I would say I'm particularly good at. So I'm like, who am I kidding? Like, building a farming from range build for fire damage on any of these ships, like, I'm gonna move on from this game before I get good at that. Like, just being realistic with myself, like, it's who am I kidding? So I've gone back to my very original build, turret traverse, to keep those guns on target as I'm wheeling and dealing, and rudder. And then all the other normal, like, general rear wall build, I haven't changed it otherwise. I think it's very well rounded. He's a great commander. If he comes back and you like German cruisers, I think he's excellent on all of them. Particularly on the like super cruisers, but honestly on anything at this point, I just use rear walled. Yeah, so it's been a rough little bit, but I've been practicing this like overlook thing. The controller setup I have, if I could go back in time, I would change it a little bit. I have it as like the trigger and the shoulder. So left trigger zooms in, left shoulder does the overlook. It's a little awkward. Like I have to kind of, use the middle finger, index finger on my left hand to switch it. Not the end of the world, but I've been practicing on that. If you like zoom out and then lock, you can do a thing where you lock your guns on like I don't know, like for lack of a better term, foreshortened target, especially if you're shooting over an island. If anyone's interested, I can make a video like actually showing that. I've done it a few times just to like prove that I'm not crazy to myself. But it is absolutely a thing that the game does, that if you're shooting over an island, sometimes it will kind of like drop to the island target rather than the ship behind it as you're zooming out. So be careful if you're switching to the overlook view that you don't do that to yourself. But I have been practicing it to keep that situational awareness up while keeping my guns on target. Another thing that I've noticed is I'm pretty sure that a lot of the times that I have this like weird short shot thing, it's actually lag. I had that suspicion, but as I've been practicing my aim more and getting more confident in where I'm aiming, if I do the like snap aim, like aim and move and shoot very quickly, that's when I get those short shots, and I really think it's a kind of a desynchronization, a lag, for lack of a better term, like it just hasn't quite updated what my actual aim point is to the fire signal, which is a little weird to me, that it's like if it recognizes I'm shooting, it should recognize... Oh, here I mess up. Trying to do my little cheeky fire through the thing, and I'm hitting the rock, and he manages to get through, but, we rectify that. We'll fix it. I had a little uh-oh moment there with the torpedoes, but thankfully they ran out. I think I would have gotten out of range anyway. Speaking about that overlook view, this is another thing that I've been working on, is this kind of non-zoomed firing point. I think it's actually really effective in situations like that where you're close range. Again, to the point of the aim, like, I've just been noticing too many wonky shots, and I know that's a thing that's been off and on. I don't see it as much these days, but they're like, oh, the short shots, like, whatever. I don't think that there's a problem... How do I say this so people don't get, like, super mad? It's not so much a problem with the actual calculation of the dispersion that's wrong. It's much more of, like, a disparity between the aim point of the camera and the actual simulated fire points of the turrets, if that makes sense. And so when you're at close range, you start getting these weird angles of, like, sure, your camera's there at the front turrets, but if your back turrets are firing, they're actually firing at a significantly different angle than the front turrets, especially on longer ships. Like, those back turrets are quite a ways from the front turrets. And I think that's where you get kind of wonky, and then this, like, zoomed out view is more centered on your ship, and so I don't run into as many of those weird, like, wait, what just happened? That is not where I aimed shots. I don't know, jury's still out. I'm working on it. I've been yammering about what I've been going through instead about this match. It's been kind of boring on this side. We took out the Nagato, the North Carolina, trying to keep up pressure. The rest of the map is gone. Like, what is happening? We've done a ton of damage, most of it on that North Carolina, a little bit on the Nagato. But it's like, yeah, what's going on? At this point, this Iowa is like... yeah, he doesn't have a terrible game, but it's like my nemesis at this point. He is alive, but he's full health in a losing match with 5 minutes left. And it's like, dude, you have to, you have to sell your health harder than that, if that makes sense. Well, there's like a phrase for that, if you're in like a losing situation, like the Alamo, or like the Baston in the Battle of the Bulge, that, like, make him fight for it. He's just been running away, which, like, there's videos on my channel where sometimes, discretion is the better part of valor, like, stay alive, come back to fight another day. He's just like broadside to the Kansas running away. He needs to be like, you know, making it hard for them. So whatever. And he keeps spamming me. He needs to be nosing on this Kansas, spotting it, keeping it engaged, so that I can shoot it and the carrier's safe. And instead, he's running away, staying broadside, and then spamming me for intelligence. It's like, dude, you need to be the intelligence right now. I'm under attack by the carrier. I'm going to go Cat B. But yeah, he's at half health now. He's like taking 2 shots from the Kansas. It's like, dude, come on. And that's just the kind of stuff that I've been... no, non-stop. I don't expect everyone to be amazing at the game. I'm not the best player in the world. I make mistakes. There's definitely people that are better than me and stuff I need to learn or get better at. Uh-oh, I'm actually spotted here. Carrier spotted me from somewhere, which is either good or bad. I don't know. Is he close? I don't know. Our carrier goes down. I am, again, this is practicing this overview, just keeping the guns going while I dodge these torpedoes. And then, somehow still eat that one. I think just got off on the angle. I had that. I think it just overturned.
Problem solved, sir.
There's a carrier. It's a bit of a bummer. If I had spotted him just a second earlier, I might have taken a different trajectory. Could have gone on the south side of the island, spotted him, but I don't know. Maybe that salvo hits me, so you know, maybe it's all fine. Still, this Iowa, it's like, dude, just nose in and spot, and this Kansas goes down. And there's nothing he can do about it, and it's like, oh my gosh, it just drives me crazy. It drives me crazy, like just the exact wrong thing. Thankfully, and it, you know, in my attempt to stay positive, a red team can always be worse. This carrier just... Sorry, dude. He's just not very good. He's missing a lot of his drops. I don't play a lot of Shikakus, so I don't know... You know, the Kaga is much more popular. I don't really know how good the Shikaku is, and there's actually a bit of weird, you know, shenanigans that happens a little bit later that I did a little research on. I'm not... Still kind of scratching my head on, so if anyone's got some... We'll watch it through. I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get to it. So, but anyway, because the carrier misses me and then actually skips over me, I guess because he can't hit me, he's going to the Iowa. I get to Cat B. So points are ticking up. We're still behind. We've only got 2 minutes left. If the Kansas just leaves and the carrier just leaves and that cruiser is like way off in the middle of nowhere, yeah, thanks Iowa, you need intelligence. No, no, I need intelligence. I think red team just wins this. I don't think we flip 100 points in 2 minutes. But again, I'm not sure. Can somebody do the math? Like, I don't actually know what the tick rate on these. There's too many different versions of it that can be slightly different, so I just don't know them offhand. I should. I really should. Like, that's a thing. Because there's too many matches that come down to this, and it's like, I should be able to do the math. So yeah, we see the Kansas broadside. I'm like, oh, carrier, should I? No, he's probably gonna get unspotted or nose in or whatever. So let's just like the Kansas is threatening the Iowa. I get a good whack on him. Like, oh golly, that AP man, even at range, is amazing. Pazharsky still has better AP, but the mines should not be underestimated. Honestly, like, it's so good. Switching back to the HE as he angles out, trying to set a fire. Also because you see the Iowa drop spot again. It's like, give me intelligence. I don't even know if he's within, you know, with the fire penalty spotting range. If he's in range of that, I'm just like, oh my god, dude, we're gonna lose because you're not spotting it. But thankfully, oh yeah, the Kansas fires at me. They can't. Like, honestly, I think if he had just gone dark here, they might have won. Iowa does take him out, you know. Credit where credit is due. He hit that shot. I was frustrated with it, but sometimes you just gotta work with what you got. And then here we go. Here we go. This is half the reason I'm making this video. Is this, you know, I'm focused on the drop, but look at how many shatters I get on this thing. I'm 5 kilometers from this guy in a mine. So let's just go. So I did a little research, and some of it, like, maybe makes sense, but a lot of these are just flat out shatters. They're not the, like, you know, spaced armor shatter. Like, what is happening? So I'll put up the Shikaku armor profile for a second. Alright, so it's got 215 millimeter armor belt, if you look, like, it's got a little bit of space, but I think that's waterline. I've got 369 millimeters of pin at the muzzle. He's only 5 kilometers away. Like, I don't know. Maybe just the angle was enough to shatter it. That felt dubious to me, but whatever. But new personal record on damage and XP, so I'll take it.